Banditos, brace yourselves. The Division 2 just dropped the mother of all bombs on the community. There's so much to unpack here.
And if you don't know, now you know.
Okay, Banditos, let me catch you up. First off, the final pieces of the manhunt just became available, so you can now complete the final chapters. So first, you're gonna have to finish off this section and then finally get to Kelso. Before I go any further, okay, I'm just gonna tell you it's a mega bomb here on the storyline and really opens up a whole lot of things, and it's left us with a lot of questions answered, but a whole bunch more questions lingering. And we're gonna touch on all of those, but there's no way around the spoilers on this one. So if you want to experience this firsthand on your own, then now is going to be a good time to bail from this video. Okay, we're gonna begin in 3, 2, 1.
May God be with you all.
You still with me? Right on, let's go. So you're gonna do your normal run through the list thing and you'll finally unlock the final mission for Agent Kelso. So we've been tracing her steps for several months now as part of season 3. So the trail ends for Kelso here at Stranded Tanker. Cool side note, there's a hunter encounter where you get this hunter mask, which is pretty cool. I made a whole video about that, you can check that out. Anyways, moving on. So at the end of this mission, everything is revealed. The bomb is dropped. Hold that thought, I'm gonna tell you everything you need to know, but before I do, let's just back up a couple of quick steps. So remember last season, that was a big lore puzzle piece, wasn't it? So we tracked Kelso to this rogue lair, and this raised a lot of questions, especially around Fei Lao. And we wonder what led Kelso there. Was it Anna or was it somebody else driving that? We do know that Kelso was using a watch guided by Anna that got her to that location. And once she was there, she saw a hologram where Keener was attempting to recruit Fei Lao. This is a very, very important piece of the puzzle. So it's pretty short. So let me just let that quickly run here so that we're all on the same page.
Glad you could make it, Cassandra. And now before you say anything, I want you to take a deep breath and promise you'll keep an open mind. I need you to listen to me, to truly listen, and be open to admitting that maybe, just maybe, you were wrong. I don't expect you to trust me, but I think we can help each other with our little hunter problem. Oh, I know you must be thinking, hey, what could Aaron Keener possibly tell me about the hunters that I don't already know? You think me and my rogues have been targeting the division? This couldn't be further from the truth, Faye. If you really want to stop the hunters, I can stop them. Well, I can't. But if we work together, we might stand a chance.
And so out of this, we pointed out that, okay, so Fei Lao is Cassandra, so let's just make sure we're on the same page there. Vanguard is Keener, so that's an important note. So these are their call signs. So did you catch that one of the things that Keener said was the division wasn't his intended target? And it never was. And the way he sees it is that he and Lao have an enemy in common. And that enemy is the hunters, and that's who he's really after. So in this video where I break down the conspiracy of Fei Lao and Keener, some interesting things came up as I really dug deep into this conspiracy lore. One of them is who's behind the hunters, and it turns out that it's Cal McManus, and he becomes a person of interest in all of this. At the end of that cutscene, we saw Agent Kelso try to get into that box, and when she does, she gets electrocuted and basically knocked out. We also see a shadow in the background, and it appears there's an observer. Through some earlier comms, Kelso feels like she's being watched and followed. So one of the questions is, who is following Kelso? We learned who that is. And lastly, one of the questions that came out of this comm was, what's in that box that she's trying to get into? Okay, here's where things get interesting. So hold on to your socks, Banditos. In that conspiracy video, I go into one of the things that stood out to be really interesting, which was Anna's remark when Kelso tried to get into that crate. Anna says two-factor authentication required.
Two-factor authentication required.
Well, that makes you wonder, whose watch is Kelso using? It could be Fei Lao's or any other rogue agent that we eliminated along the way to defeating Keener. And we know we have Keener's watch. So is Keener's watch the other key to opening up that crate? That's one of the things we need answered. So when we take out Fei Lao, we can assume that Kelso grabbed her watch. But one of the things that got me wondering is who designed the system? the 2-key authorization system. And that led me to that cutscene when we killed Keener and we found out that Fei Lao was rogue. You remember that? Well, she makes a remark to Schaefer that Theo's watch is collating the data.
Parnell's watch is collating the data. Looks like it's all of them.
And she had Theo's watch in her hand while she was also rogue. And so it just kind of made me wonder, why isn't Fei Lao using her watch to collate the data if she's rogue? And that made me think, well, maybe Theo is the other key. Maybe his watch is the other key. We knew that he was the one with the smarts enough to activate Anna, the other AI system that the rogue network is built on. Keener's legacy. So he was probably the one smart enough to develop the security protocols on that crate. And so that made me think, well, his watch is the other key and Fei Lao had it. So when we took out Fei Lao, that means potentially Kelso's got Fei Lao's watch as well as Theo's watch, which is the second key. And then the first key would be the watch that we have, Keener's watch.
You earned it.
Okay, so now that I got you up to speed on where we left off in that conspiracy video, here's the bomb that was dropped. Now I'm just gonna let this play for a second, then we're gonna digest it.
Unknown network detected.
Agent, glad you can make it. It's really good to see you.
Vanguard identification confirmed. Rogue network activated. Agent status, rogue.
What do you say, Agent? You ready to see how far down the rabbit hole really goes?
System clone complete. I've missed you, Vanguard. Welcome back, sir.
We're set.
This is gonna be fun.
Okay, your mind is probably blown. Yes, Aaron Keener and Theo Parnell are alive, and Kelso is working with them. And at the very end, it appears they're going over the Brooklyn Bridge. I don't have confirmation on that, but I would assume so considering the DLC is based in Brooklyn. So we have been lured to this location, apparently by Kelso, so that she can clone our watch and then use it to access that crate. Now you hear Anna's voice that says,
I've missed you, Vanguard. Welcome back, sir.
so Anna's talking to Keener. So whatever is in that box, Keener put it there, and Kelso is recovering it for him. But one of the questions that had me going is, why were we tricked? So we find out here, and through some additional comms that you earned from this manhunt, that both Kelso and Fei Lao were working, or are working, with Keener. Fei Lao is dead, so apparently she was cremated. They did confirm that through this manhunt, and when you play it, you'll come across that communication delivered to you.
Attention, all units. Cassandra located at the tanker. Eliminate the agents and intercept the asset.
Cassandra? Lau is dead. We recovered her body. They cremated her. There's no way.
So Fei Lao's gone, but either way, that's Division 2 leadership that we really trusted, as well as Kelso. So why didn't they just ask us for the watch? I don't know. But she cloned it, and so she's got it now. So Keener's alive, so is Theo Parnell. Really interesting. So that link to Theo that I suspected was there is there. But it doesn't sound like his watch was the key. He programmed so that Fei Lao's watch was the key. So during the comms here, we understand that it was actually Fei Lao's idea to have the 2-key authentication built into the system. It was a security protocol she wanted.
And your tool almost made Cassandra walk.
What are you talking about?
Scuttlebutt. She's pissed. She never agreed to this and thinks you've gone too far. The network activation is one thing, but innocents were killed at City Hall, and she is ready to take your head.
She may want to, but she's not ready. She's the one who wanted the fail-safe 2-factor authentication. The network can't be activated without both of us on board, and if she wants to stop Cal and the hunters, she needs me.
Now, I know what you're thinking right now. Well, we killed Keener. We saw him die. So he explains that here. I'll let that roll.
I know you. You thought you got me. You saw my body. You felt my corpse. You watched my lips flap through your contact lens, and ISAC declare, Agent deceased. Agent deceased. But, the identification was never confirmed. Our little performance was enough to convince the powers that be we were gone. No longer a threat, and Lau was with the Black Tusk, so we could continue with our work.
I almost feel like Keener being alive was an afterthought. And so they had to write that into the script to clarify, oh, you didn't verify his body. It's like, well, why not? Why didn't we? And same thing with Theo, right? Like, we killed Theo. And so same thing, he was pretending to be dead. Are we all idiots here? I don't know. So that part's a little bit cheesy, I gotta say. I'm very curious on if this was an actual afterthought. But either way, they're alive. That's a big surprise. Kelso's working with them. Now, in this final comm here, Keener is actually trying to recruit us. So I'm gonna let that play. And so listen to what he has to say.
I know what you're thinking. The first wave's prodigal son has returned. I still believe, deep down, that you really do get it. After everything you've been through, after everything you've seen, can you really still believe in the division? In Cal's division? You know, I have to admit that I made a mistake. I misjudged you. Misjudged Lau, too. But eventually, she came around. And I hope you will, too. The more you know, the more you will realize that I was right. We're the same. We are survivors. But you need to ask yourself, who has earned the right to tell you what to do? How many more good people have to die for the brass to survive? How many more people need to die so that Nat can have her little empire? I know you signed on to save what remains. But sometimes what remains isn't worth saving if all it does is kill you faster. I know you. You thought you got me. You saw my body. You felt my corpse. You watched my lips flap through your contact lens, and ISAC declare, Agent deceased. Agent deceased. But, the identification was never confirmed. Our little performance was enough to convince the powers that be we were gone. No longer a threat, and Lau was with the Black Tusk, so we could continue with our work. Agent, I know you're wondering if you made the right choice. Staying the course. I want to build a bridge between us. Another, safe haven, if you will. And now that Kelso has seen the light, I hope you will too. See you soon.
So he's trying to recruit us, but after all of that interaction and the way we were sort of tricked, and maybe it's because they didn't think they would be able to convince us and they needed access to that crate, and then they would try to convince us afterwards. You know, either way, it just came off my gut feeling as deceitful. It made them three, even Kelso, feel like the bad guys. So I feel like it's me as a division agent against them. That's the feeling that I take away. And I don't think that's an accident. You know, I was saying in the live stream, you know, what does every hero have? And just about every story, everywhere, and every culture. And that thing is hope. And I feel like Kelso, Theo, and Keener, what I feel like they've lost is hope. And that's why they're on that trajectory to take out the hunters. That's their mission. And they want to use a very drastic measure. And in this comm, that is revealed. Listen up.
You don't have to use it. But if you want to, we now have the Eclipse ready for distribution.
Keener, even if I could explain how I got my hands on that bullshit of yours, I want nothing to do with it.
Even if you're cornered by 5 hunters and about to die?
If I ever get cornered by 5 hunters, I deserve to die.
You're good, Douglas. But you can't control everything.
Are you really willing to put this mission in jeopardy so you can eclipse your enemies?
It's merely a very helpful tool in the war against what's coming.
Yeah, so the red poison, you know, that stuff they delivered to City Hall and killed everybody? Well, Aaron's head was on the chopping block for that. But either way, they want to use that against the hunters. That being said, we still don't know what came out of that cache. But I do feel like it might just be that red poison. A box inside of a box. Anna saying, welcome back, Vanguard. I've missed you, sir. Whatever's in that box was originally placed by Keener. And we all know that Keener created the red poison. So I don't know, that's my best guess. My original guess was that it had something to do with Anna. I thought it was maybe some sort of tech that needed to be uploaded into some sort of mainframe. That is still possible. So we got this comm, and it is mentioned that there was a situation in a Kansas node, and that had me wondering. I don't recall anything happening in Kansas in the storyline, but maybe I missed it. Does anybody have that piece of the puzzle? If so, please comment on what happened in Kansas. So that makes me wonder, is Kansas a point of interest? Is that a link to Heartland? What does that have to do with the red poison? So here are the big lingering questions left by the big revelation that Keener's alive, Theo's alive, and Kelso is working with them, as well as Fei Lao has been confirmed KIA and was confirmed that she was in cahoots with Keener. That being said, where is Schaefer in all of this? He's a big piece of this puzzle. Is he still in a coma? And when he wakes up, where's his allegiance? Second, what's in the box that Kelso grabbed? Is it the Eclipse virus? Is it a piece of technology related to Anna? What does the attack on the Kansas core have to do with this? And finally, are we the good guy or the bad guy here? Are we the division's last hope? Will there be a decision we have to make to go rogue as part of the new DLC? And maybe somebody can answer this. What the heck are we gonna do between now and then? Thank you for hanging out with me today. My name is Tuxedo Bandido, and this was another episode of The Division 2. If you found this video helpful, subscribe, like, and turn on notifications to ensure you don't miss out on the fantastic experiences waiting for you in The Division 2. And if you like builds like this, check out the recommended build video I have here for you. If you have anything you want to see covered, be sure to let me know in the comments below. And thank you to all the channel members and donors who make everything possible. Tux Nation wouldn't be without you.
When you buy a game from Ubisoft, enter the creator code Tuxedo Bandido to support the channel. Easy peasy.
Follow me.
I get it.